The genre that we are going to be talking about this week is realistic fiction. And we're going to be reading a passage about a new library in town. I want you to listen very carefully and think about the debate that the town is having about their new library and what that debate is. Before I read this text, I want to review briefly what the characteristics are of the realistic fiction genre. So it has realistic characters, events, and settings. The things could really happen, and the places that they take place in could really exist. And realistic fiction has dialogue. All right, as I read this little text, I'm going to be stopping and talking about the Think Aloud clouds. The Think Aloud clouds this week have to do with a comprehension strategy of visualizing. When you read, you should stop and try to visualize in your mind what's going on, like a little movie that you create. Books. Any word on the vote? Asked Miss Beecham as he came out of the hardware store and saw the crowd in front of the town hall. Inside the town hall, an important meeting was taking place to decide what to name the new town library. The old library had been destroyed in a fire the previous spring. There's my Think Aloud cloud prompt. Let's see what my Think Aloud cloud says. As I read, I can visualize to help me picture the small town where the crowd is waiting. I can picture the man stepping out of the hardware store. Not yet, called Mr. Lee, who owned the bakery next door. Dad, what do you think the library should be called? Asked Maya Lee, who had been helping her father all morning. Well, I think it should be named after Miss Flores, since she gave most of the books and all the computers for the new library, he answered. Without her generous donation, we would not have a new library or any books. That's true, Dad. But Mr. Green is the one who gave his whole house to the town to use as a library, and he paid for the renovations, Maya said. She jumped up onto a park bench so that she could see over the heads of the crowd. There's a Think Aloud cloud prompt. Let's see what it says. The description of the action helps me visualize Maya jumping up onto a park bench to see over the crowd. I know how it feels when you are too short to see something, and I think we can all relate to that. Mr. Lee nodded. Yes, that's also true. Well, the decision of what to name the library is up to the elected town officials. I just wish they would hurry up. Dad, the mayor's coming out, Maya shouted excitedly. The crowd grew silent as the mayor raised his hand to speak. Well, folks, our new library is going to be called the Flores Green Library. The crowd cheered. Maya and her father cheered loudest of all. Think Aloud Cloud 3. After reading this paragraph, I can close my eyes and visualize the mayor making the announcement. Do that very quickly, boys and girls. I can almost hear the crowd cheering loudly in response. This helps me understand this important moment. And boys and girls, it was an important moment in the story. That was the resolution of the conflict. And so when I ask you guys to think about the debate the town is having in this passage, well, the debate is, what do they name the new town library? That's what everyone is concerned about. And if you noticed at the end, they named it the Flores Green Library. So they named it after both of the important people who were responsible for making the library a success. Without those two people, they wouldn't have a building, they wouldn't have books or a computer. I think that was a great ending. And I think they really solved that problem very well.